every sport.
Was Putin aware of the existence of a Russian doping system?
Yes. We are top-level cheaters.
This all can be proved. It's quite mind-blowing.
So here's another controversial topic that, again, nobody's talking about. And yes, my thumbnails are always sort of right there on the borderline of, oh, what is Johnny doing? But again, my channel is designed to raise eyebrows and get people talking. So just a disclaimer, not everything I say is true. Some of my stuff is complete BS. I have a strong stance on there's no such thing as bad press, along with there's 3 sides to every story. There's your side, there's my side, and the truth. When it comes to certain riders like James Stewart, Brock Tickle, Christian Craig, which we'll talk about him here in just a bit, I don't have comprehensive evidence that either of these guys ever cheated, but if you've seen some of my videos on my channel, I know what I've done, I've shared what I've done, these individuals know what they've done or haven't done. And then it's left up to the rest of us, whether it's a sanctioning body, a worldwide organization, WADA, USADA, the International Olympic Committee, to enforce and decide they cheated or they didn't cheat. So they got to fill in the blanks.
Knows I'm not a cheater. But the way the rules are, and they were, or they still are, it just showed how unprofessional, the lack of accountability we all have. I mean, I made a mistake.
So I want to know your guys' opinion in the comments below, and be honest, all right? I'm not here to judge you. If you're here to judge me, that's okay. A lot of people do. But I want to talk about, is USADA, the IOC, WADA, are they helping or are they making things worse for the sport?
Today, the World Anti-Doping Agency suspended Russia's sports drug testing lab.
99% of Russian athletes are guilty of doping.
It's worse than we thought.
If this is true, it is an unimaginable level of criminality.
So get this, WADA is trying to, if you don't know what WADA is, it's World Anti-Doping Agency, but they're trying to suspend Russia for another 4 years, but not necessarily their athletes. They say that their athletes can still compete in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, just not under the Russian flag. Oh, but by the way, they have to be clean. But what's interesting to point out was back in 2018, WADA said to Russia, hey, we're going to be astronomically tough on you if one of your athletes ever piss hot again or we have any sort of problems. They're not really enforcing what they said. Interesting, very interesting.
If they want to compete in the Olympics or in the Paralympics or the various major events that are listed within this recommendation, they're going to have to they're going to have to prove that they had nothing to do with the non-compliance. So they weren't involved in the doping schemes as described by McLaren's reports.
Let's stop this guy right there. So WADA, in my opinion, is acting a lot like a Pee-wee soccer team where you have a group of parents that are on a volunteer basis that create some sort of an organization, and they're trying to keep everyone happy, have everyone fit in, and then here comes a company, you know, a corporate company that wants to advertise, let's say like a mortgage company. Anyway, they want to sponsor and pay to have the kids have all new equipment and shirts, but they want to enforce and make some of the rules. So you got to try to keep everybody happy. Because you guys want to know what WADA's full budget is for the entire world? Well, it's around $33 million to sanction everybody and put rules and limitations on all of the doping in all of sports around the world. They only have $33 million to work with. Come on. I mean, everybody wants to say that they're doing such great things and it's not a joke, but it is a joke because the government the top investors into this whole program. And the United States only contributes about $2.5 million into it a year. And just a simple blood test is like $100. And the tests get exponentially more expensive when you're trying to find certain things like EPO, or you're trying to test for everything that is on the banned substance list. People don't understand that these organizations don't have enough money to test for everything. So when they find something, they want to run with the small little thing that they have because they're assuming you're doing more. So the pros, whether or not you sign up for motocross, supercross, flat track, whatever it may be, you have to sign some anti-doping form saying, hey, you can be tested, you're not going to use any of these substances, here's all the substances that are on the banned substance list, which are quite a few, so it's your job to know them. So it's really only the rider's fault when something gets caught. But with that being said, WADA only has $33 million to work with around the world. You can see how astronomically expensive it would be to test for all these substances. So what do? They just go, oh, hey, we tested, and we're not going to let you know what we tested for. That would just be silly. Hence, this is why Lance Armstrong never failed a drug test, but he was the most popular doper in all of sports history. I never failed a drug test, but then again, I was never tested. Why would you test the dude that's barely qualifying? And I've admitted to gearing up. Lance would have never gotten caught if he didn't have some of his actions catch up with him with, burning bridges with people around him. My analogy I can use is it would be like, hey, we're FIM or MX Sports, Feld Motorsports, and we think you're using illegal fuel. So we're going to go test your practice bike, not your race bike, but we're going to tell everybody that we tested and you came up clean. Makes no sense whatsoever. Again, it's just corruption from the corporations that are investing in running WADA. USADA is a little bit different because MX Sports Feld actually has to go out and pay them. But then again, sounds like it could be a gentleman's agreement if, say, top rider gets hit. Oh man, we paid you to test him, so we're in control of if it gets released or not, because this is a third-party organization, not WADA. WADA, inherently, they want to do the right thing. They just are at mercy of the governments that are giving them the money. Sad but true.
Politics, and there was definitely hidden agendas that happened behind it.
With the information that I have shared with you guys, why wouldn't cheating be on a list of things that you think you could get away with? Told you how corrupt and in shambles the doping procedure is. Nobody knows what's doping, what's being tested for, and if you were one of the insiders that knew exactly, you could just say, hey, we're not going to use that one little substance, but we're going to use the thousands of other drugs out there because they're not testing for it because it's too expensive. You can gain sponsorship, your bottom line, your savings account, your retirement, whatever you want to call it, popularity, and not to mention you make life easier on you because you'll ride faster, you'll recover faster, you'll have better equipment because of your finishes will be better. Why wouldn't you want to make life easier on you? Because riders can't race until they're 60 years old, and unfortunately, we have a stigma that you're only as good as your last race. It's being devil's advocate here. And I will go further and admit I used some big bores when I got tired of just getting my ass handed to me. So I was going, hey, what's the cheapest way to make my lifetimes go down so that I can be seen a little bit more? Didn't work out in my favor, but I'm just telling you, they're never going to tear down the dude that's qualifying 50th or barely gets in. So I did it.
Weren't there those years? I mean, you can go round and around and around on that argument, but for the most part, if his best dude essentially doesn't get hurt, he wins the title. We're going on almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's insanity, bro.
20 years. It's 2001 Carmichael won the title. This is the 2020 season.
Dude.
That is insane.
We're coming up on 20 years of Alden.
Winning what are we going to say? 17 out of 20 or something?
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It's our job to cheat the system. And in today's world with the package and how it works out, if you're the front car, you're the tow.
Yeah.
You're the tow truck. You're towing everybody else behind you. You're at a disadvantage. No one wants to be at a disadvantage. So we're going to cheat the system until they do something about it. And then we're going to find a new way to cheat the new system.
We live in a world of data. If somebody has one of the solo lap timers or the Lip Pro lap timers, is that an advantage? Are they considered cheating because of that? Is any sort of unfair advantage considered cheating? It raises the question and makes the term cheating very convoluted. What it is, what's not, where's the white line or the magic line that you can't cross, how close can you get to it? I remember my brother racing supermoto, and in the 250 class, there were some guys that were slapping 250 stickers on 450s, and it was pretty obvious because you know what a 450 sounds like. It was really obvious. So I don't know. People will do whatever they can to try to get away with whatever they can. I mean, there's that saying: it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So just in ending, Christian Craig went to Switzerland to appeal his tainted supplement in one of his drinks, whatever he was getting caught for, and he's able to go racing now. So he's one of the lucky ones that actually got it revoked. And, you know, yeah, he missed out on racing last year, but he doesn't have the 2-year suspension, so he's able to go racing, which is really, really sweet. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does. Kid's been through so much with breaking his back. He was practicing for Supercross, and on an on-off hit sort of false neutral. The bike just died on him. Something was wrong with the kill switch, and he ended up crashing, and the bike smacked him hard in the back, and for momentarily he was paralyzed. Just the way he crunched, couldn't feel his nerves, and then 30 minutes later or so, when the ambulance came, they were able to stretch him back out onto the stretcher, and then he was able to wiggle his feet and move his toes. So, guy's been through a lot. I'm super pumped for Christian Craig to be back racing. I don't want to put any words in anybody's mouth. I want you guys to come up with your own conclusion. I'm just bringing more evidence to the table for you guys to make a decision. And let me know in the comments below if you think there's cheating going on in motocross and supercross, or we are the sport that's leading the way for having the cleanest sport around the world, not just mechanically, but physically as well. Again, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and until next time, bye.